Hey, it's Jason Kochis. I am back with another inking video. This time I will be inking Suzuko from Fire Tripper, which is a manga and anime by Rumiko Takahashi. So I use a paintbrush and black magic ink to do most of my drawings that I've been doing, and also the comic that I've been working on recently. Always start with the eyes and just moving around the face at this point. I really didn't know who this drawing was of at first. And then I realized, after doing a little bit of research, that it was Suzuko from Fire Tripper, which actually turns out to be the precursor or sort of like tryout for Inuyasha, which was a popular manga and anime by Rumiko Takahashi in the late 90s and early 2000s. Really cool story. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to check it out, but Fire Tripper is definitely a different take than Inuyasha, but there are definitely similarities. And I think that it's different enough and interesting enough on its own. So you can see I'm sort of rotating the paper around to get my hand in the proper place where I feel comfortable, where I can make the lines that I want to make. So that's why I'm always twisting and turning the paper around. Learned that from a number of artists. I believe Willis Portasio was one of the first people that I remember talking about doing that, famous comic artist. And what I'm doing here is, this sketch, it looks like it was rough. Actually, it turned out it was on the back, or almost like just a little sketch that Rumiko had done. This wasn't in the final manga to my knowledge. The page that I got this from, there was, on the left side of the paper was this sketch and a number of other like close-ups of different characters, and then on the right side of this page was a fully penciled comic page. So again, I don't believe that this actually was published before. And what I usually do is I find these images online and I will print them out in blue ink so that when I scan them in, they won't show up. And I've been using that process when I make my manga-inspired comic book called Koji and Maru, which I have finished and it is out now. There'll be a link below in the description if you're curious about purchasing that. I have a digital and print version of that available, as well as a couple other things on my Etsy store. Moving kind of rapidly. I mean, this is a smaller sketch. It's definitely a smaller piece of paper. You can tell my hands look pretty large on the screen right now. But and I did accelerate the video, ink this relatively quickly. I would say 40 minutes tops from start to finish. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit accelerated. And I'm just sort of doing what I think is there, making some changes if I feel they're necessary. Like this portion of the hair, I thought, well, that seems like it's going up a little too far, so I made mine a little bit shorter. Definitely enjoy creating these videos, just giving me more practice with using the brush, the ink together. I've said this before in some other videos. I tried to use the G pen and I'm just couldn't get the hang of it, Right here I have the Tombow brush pen, and I just going in and making some small changes. Maybe some of the lines that I created before were just a little too thin, so I'm making them a little bit thicker, or just cleaning up the drawing in general. Like the cheek right here, I want that to be a little bit thicker, so I'm going in and making that a little bit thicker. And usually a good rule of thumb, I've learned this from many artists, but the closer the object is to you, the thicker the outline's going to be. So obviously the cheek is closer to us than the hair, so I want to make that side line a little bit thicker, and the chin as well, because it's closer to us than the neck is. Now I've got some white ink on the brush, and I'm just going around and cleaning up some areas that I couldn't clean up with the Tombow brush pen. So maybe I had made the line a little bit too thick, or it's just a little bit jagged. Again, spinning the paper around, getting my hand at the appropriate angle to where I think I can make the marks I want to make. Definitely a big Rumiko Takahashi fan. And this drawing definitely is amazing as well, even if it was just a sketch or a study for a better drawing that she would do. I got the Tombow brush pen out again. Maybe some areas I want to make a little bit thicker after looking at them. The inside of the hand there between the thumb and the fingers. Cleaning up the hair. Just a short little video today, almost done. And here we go. On the left is the original sketch that I printed out in blue ink, and on the right is my inked version. Hope you like it, and if you do, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Really appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, this was my manga-inspired comic book, Koji and Maru. It's available now. The link will be below in the description. And if you would, please subscribe to my Patreon. Really appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again next time.